Just going to have a crack. Yes, you know. Oh, I say! Brilliant! That is schoolboy's own stuff. Oh, I bet even he can't believe it.
Good morning and good morning to you all. Welcome to this Thursday's episode of Good Morning Tottenham Away. I hope you guys are all well, your families are well, and you're all taking care of yourself. Guys, God, I feel rough this morning. Woken up, head banging, cold, chest, the usual. It's that time of year already. Not even end of September and bang, it's already hit me for 6. So you will have to excuse me. Excuse my voice and excuse my nose running. So guys, many of you were in a chat yesterday on Mari's Spurs Lounge. It was on last night. For those of you that missed it, head over to the channel because we spoke quite a few things. We spoke about Perisic. We spoke about the whole Levy fan forum thing. When we also in the end ended up speaking about a little bit about the North London derby. And one of the hot topics, also we're talking the North London derby tonight. North London is ours. Will be on our channel live, so make sure you lock that in, guys. Make sure, do not forget, North London now is ours. Will be on tonight live. I'm telling you, that is gonna be absolutely lit. So make sure you lock that in, guys. I'll take this opportunity to also say to you guys, smash a like, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and big up to every single one of you who continue to follow us, and big up to every single one of you who just recently joined us. Welcome to Tottenham Away, guys. So I was saying, we spoke one particular topic. We kind of know in our heads already what team we expect to field against Arsenal. If you take into the fact that Vicario will start, Romero and Van der Ven, I can't see that partnership breaking up. Udogie, Porro, maybe Emerson, but I'll say 70%. It'll be 80%. I'll say Porro will start there. And you've got Maddison, Sarr, and Bissouma in midfield. And you can almost say Son's going to play, listen, I'd like to think he's going to play through the middle. Kulusevski on the right-hand side. And that kind of leaves that one area on the left-hand side. And this is where the topic of discussion that I want to have with you this morning. I'd already left the stream by this point, but I did follow the guys this morning before work. I managed to watch the last hour that I didn't participate in. And this discussion was one of the most one had amongst the people in the chat and the guys in the panel. And there was mixed reviews. Some will say, you know, it'd be ideal to maybe play Richarlison through the middle, put Son out wide. The other solution would be, do you know what? Play Son and throw in Brennan Johnson. Others saying, do you know what? I think we should stick with what's worked so far, not to throw in Brennan Johnson so quickly in. So make a first start in a derby. Don't throw him so quickly in such a match, but have him coming on as a substitute where the pressure is a little bit less than, say, when you start, and stick with Solomon because he's been starting. Although people are not too convinced, not so much of the work rate, not so much of the fact that he does take on a man and stuff like that, but more so like the final ball and is not very conclusive in front of goal. So that was the highest topic, you know, the real topic of discussion was there. My thought is that I believe, listen, Brennan Johnson is a quality player. He showed in just a few minutes, in just a really short space of time against Sheffield United, what qualities he possesses, and he's got an eye for goal, man. You've got to give him that. You can see that he's got an eye for goal, certainly more than Solomon does. But my point of discussion is my point was before I went off. These are matches that require character. Yes, they require technical abilities. They're required to play football the way that we've been playing so far. Absolutely. But it requires us turning up with a straight back, with a fight in our hands. Make sure you know that first 15, 20 minutes, they're going to come out as strong. It requires us to stand up and be counted, not fold, is what happened in previous derbies where they're practically over by within half an hour, maximum half time, the derby was over. We can't have a situation like that happening on Sunday. So for me, it requires a certain amount of experience, a certain amount of know-how, and players. Listen, you can argue that Solomon's not played it. Decky has, and Son has, but Solomon hasn't, neither has Brennan Johnson. So you are taking a little bit of a gamble. So Richarlison has been involved in the North London derby, so he knows a little bit about it. And this is where I wanted to ask you guys, what would you do? I mean, do you play Son through the middle, or do you go with Richarlison through the middle, putting Son out wide? Or do you go with Son through the middle and play with either Solomon or Brennan Johnson on the left? Obviously, the two players, Solomon and Brennan Johnson, would bring you different qualities by you know, putting them in that wide area. Or perhaps putting Kulusevski on the left-hand side, as it worked against Sheffield United, and play Brennan or Solomon on the right-hand side. I'm really intrigued to know, because some say, you know what, throw Brennan Johnson in there. We think he's good enough and he can handle being thrown in on that, you know, straight into the North London derbies. Solomon perhaps is not as conclusive as maybe Brennan Johnson is, but he probably will give a helping hand, more of an helping hand to Udogie in the defensive side of it. Look, for me, the game on Sunday, my way of thinking is that if we are going to win that game or get points or get a point from that game, I think we have to hold it together in the middle of the park. I think if we have to be stronger in the middle of the park, that's where I feel that we're going to win or lose that game, because we've been absent in previous derbies in the middle of the park. For Arsenal, for me, yes, Odegaard, they have quality players for in the middle, but for me, they're really dangerous in the wide area. So for me, both Kulu or whoever plays in the wide area, Solomon or Johnson or Son, whoever, depending who's selected, would have to help out massively both Porro and Udogie. So real effort has to be required, a collective effort when we attack, and of course, more importantly, when we're having to defend and ride out those storms. Let me know your thoughts on this whole thing. Who would you go for? Would you start with Brennan Johnson? Would you start with Solomon? Or do we play Richie up front and put Son out wide? Assuming that Kulu, we're sticking with Kulu on the right-hand side. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment and subscribe. And as always, forever always, come on you Spurs.
The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.